Welcome to the Windy City podcast presented by Fansided. You see my guy right there, Alex Shapiro. I am Kenneth Davis. Shout out to Alex and Sean Hammond last week holding down the fort without me, putting out fantastic product. All right. Whipping it up, putting it out on the streets. Big chunks, not the small chunks, big chunks over here. Bricks. All white bricks. All right. That's what you got. That show, all white bricks. All right. We got some stuff to get into, just some questions, and for you, if you have any questions in the chat, of course, the questions are going to be about the Bears, but what questions do you really have for this upcoming season or when camp really starts? All right. Like, what is it that you're like, you know what? I need to know X, or I don't want to know Y. All right. As far as I hope that's not what's taking place. All right. Let's kick it off with my guy, Alex, and see what he has for us. Alex, what is your first question?
You got it. Because like this offseason happened and all of a sudden it's like, wait, I thought some things about this team and now I'm not so sure. We had this great conversation with Sean and he brought up some new in training camp. What are some different ideas that we're having about this team over this summer? I'm going to start small and I'm going to work my way to my bigger questions. So small, we talked about it a little bit, but to be honest, I've kind of forgotten that this guy was drafted by this team last year, premium pick last year, because he was hardly on the field, hardly did anything. Who is Shamar Turner? Can Shamar Turner make an impact? And we're not going to know that for some time because OTAs, like, yeah, you're out there. Kenneth, when you weren't here, Sean spoke highly of your Afrikaner, the DT that they drafted in the 6th round. And then it was like, wait, they got this other DT. And we're not going to really be able to assess what's going on until the pads come on. But it's almost like getting another draft pick, as silly as that sounds, because you almost think about the rookie season as a redshirt year, to be quite honest, because of the injuries that he was going through, the shin splints and what have you, all those nagging injuries. Where it's like you got another 2nd round pick almost. That's the half glass full. That's the good vibes summer that I'm trying to have. But if Shamar Turner can be who the Bears thought he was when they used a 2nd round pick on him, will that make us feel better about the defensive line as a whole? Because, if you've listened to this show, and if you're new to the show, you're about to learn we're railing against this defensive line. We are worried about the interior. We're worried about the exterior. But we wanted them to fix this thing inside out. So can Shamar Turner actually be the guy? Are we going to see something from him when pads come on where it's like, oh, this is why maybe Ryan Poles and Ben Johnson said, we don't got to go crazy to get a defensive tackle. We can wait because we've got Shamar Turner coming off the sidelines. So that's something I want to see. That's a question I want answered.
I want to stick with that. And it's Shamar Turner, but it's also another player, and that's Dayo Odangbo. And it's something that you just hit on. It's the supposed versatility that they're both supposed to possess. You remember when they brought Dayo in, they said that he was a guy that could get kicked inside to DT. And the thing I'm going to feature this on Shamar Turner even more. That was one of the things that they kind of teased us with Shamar Turner, as far as a guy that can play on the edge, but a guy that can get kicked in. And I would think if he's getting kicked in, he's going to be looked at more as a penetrator than someone that's necessarily quote unquote stout against the run. I could be wrong, but I would think about that compared to Dayo being a bigger guy, being a guy, if you put Dayo in, you're looking for him probably to be a stout run protector, a kind of guy if you kick him in. One, with Shamar Turner not being there last year, and I know he still had time to learn because at least he was with the pro program, but what are you going to give him to master first? Both or the edge? Is it based off of need or is it based off of his skill set? So that's kind of like, for me right now, is just get him on the field producing as best as possible. Now, it may not matter if he's just a natural disruptor. You know what I'm saying? Like if he's a guy that he can be the tackle, he can be the guard in the center. You know what I'm saying? This guy's his hand and his first step is just crazy. You know what I'm saying? To a degree. And it's like, all right, either way, it doesn't matter. If he's that nice, it won't matter as much. But that's kind of what I'm interested on because they didn't answer the questions. One of the things on this show that we've always pointed out, you can't usually remedy everything. They remedied a lot last year with the past holes that they had, but that is a question that I have to piggyback on your question. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you going to do? Are these guys as versatile as you told us? Are we going to see these guys kicked in? But then it kind of alludes to another question. Is there anything about this question that you want to finish talking about?
No.
It alludes to, because I think, all right, the first couple of questions is really going to be about the defensive line, like you hinted about. What are you going to get? And I got 2 players, right? Is Austin Booker better than what we think? Now, I mean, when I say that, I know we all hope and we've seen signs. So that's not what I'm saying. But I mean, is it real? You know what I'm saying?
Can
like,
you do
is it not just us being Chicago meatheads? You know, us being like, is this guy really someone that they found a diamond in the rough? We know the motor was talked about. We know the Crosby comp because due to the motor. We've seen flashes. I mean, because if he can take a real huge step, it could solve a lot of issues. Now, it may not necessarily solve the run as much, even though he has to set the edge being a defensive end. But if he could take a step, it really helps that defensive line and all the questions that we have as far as pressuring the quarterback, because pressuring the quarterback was done by the blitz last year, not done by your down lineman. It was Dennis Allen, what you got for me. He was pulling everything out of the hat with the rabbit. So that's really my first thought is Austin Booker really a stud? I guess that's how I should preface it.
Yeah.
Is Austin Booker is a stud, and was Grady Jarrett hurt? Was it a mixture? Was Grady Jarrett hurt, or was it Father Time? Or was he just hurt? And again, we're not talking about Grady Jarrett from 5 to 6 years ago. We know that he is an older vet. He's alluded to the fact that he needs to calm down when it's not game time. You know what I'm saying? I'm paraphrasing that. Right. But saying just as far as gearing down and not being as hyped throughout the week, because since he's an older player, saving some of that fuel for when it's actually going to be used on the field. Because again, like, I mean, and this is the Hope Springs Eternal. This is the Ryan Poles. Are you selling me shit or is it facts? I mean, I know you gotta sell me some stuff because you paid for it already. You know what I'm saying? You did. You bought it. So you're gonna say, hey, look at this house. And it's like, yeah, but these windows are kind of messed up. But it's like, yeah, but you got all new appliances. You got, you know what I'm saying? All this is just the win. So you're gonna hype it up. So those are my defensive line questions, because I think there's only one other position that you can have really any thought about. And I'm sure Alex will get to that. But there's only really one. I mean, there are a couple. There are 2 positions. It's not position for my other question. It's who's gonna feel it is for my other question.
That's the perfect segue, dude. Perfect segue. My next question is literally perfect. Who's gonna play the nickel, man? Who's gonna be the nickelback on this team? Because Kyler Gordon, this guy cannot get on the field. And we gave Jaquan Brisker a lot of grief for not being on the field, for always being in, being out.
Yep.
Kyler Gordon is right there with him. And Kyler Gordon got the contract extension. Jaquan Brisker did not. Kyler Gordon did. And once again, this dude is absent. This dude is absent for a lot of the offseason program, as Sean told us. What's the plan? What's the plan? Because in the past, the Bears had rolled with Josh Blackwell, who's phenomenal special teams player. You want to keep Josh Blackwell because he's phenomenal special teams player. In the nickel, he's not that same ace. He's not that same ace in the hole. To the point where the Bears go out and get CJ Gardner-Johnson because they needed somebody to come in because Blackwell, it wasn't happening. Jalen Jones has played a little bit in there, but Jalen Jones has bounced around. He's been off and on this team. Are we going to see Malik Muhammad in there? Can he play in the middle? This guy was a boundary corner. All we heard about is great boundary corner, right? Outside corner. So now it's like you got to prepare. You got to prepare for an eventuality that Kyler Gordon is going to miss some time or might not be there, because the fact of the matter is This dude is missing a lot of time and is once again missing time. So what's the plan B? Are you rolling with Josh Blackwell again? Are you rolling with Jalen Jones again? Is it going to be the rookie, Malik Muhammad? Are you going to play a lot of single high stuff again and move Thieneman into the box? What's going on at nickel? Because more and more, that's an extremely important position on the defense. And when you're getting great play out of your nickel defender, it covers up a lot. It helps in the run game. It helps cover the middle of the field in the pass game. So it's an who's going to be in there if Kyler Gordon is missing time? Do they have a solid plan B? Because you got to have solid plan Bs. Matt Eberflus, I can't believe, I'm going to catch flack for catching Matt Eberflus. Pair and a spare, but he's absolutely right. You want a pair and a spare there. And who's the spare? I don't know.
Something I don't think we talked about, but I don't think it was sussed out enough last year, that the importance of the nickel. And you brought in, as you mentioned, CJ Gardner-Johnson, right? And one thing that we always talked about was the fact that he couldn't cover. Like if you needed him at the line, CJ was definitely a guy you would want as a defensive back that you can use for pressure. And we talked about with Kevin Byard, we talked about age hitting him. We mentioned it as far as guys seeming like when wide receivers was closing, they didn't have the speed to be able to stay up with those wide receivers when those wide receivers got by them. And I think we thought so much about the use of the pressure in Kyler Gordon because Bears fans have seen Matt Eberflus use Kyler Gordon for pressure, right? Mm-hmm. That we didn't talk about much on the back end, the importance of a nickel, since most teams are coming out with 3 wide receiver sets, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And this is another reason why I rallied for Dennis Allen when people was coming for his neck, because the defense had the most injuries last year. You got to remember your corners were out. Your starting corners were gone last year, right? You were lucky that Nashawn Wright got those interceptions coming off the street, basically, right? And this is with no pressure. Like the talk about, and again, I'm not saying that we'll see, we got to give Dennis Allen the appropriate weapons, but we were acting like he was working with like a playoff defense. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying like every level had good players to a degree. You know what I'm saying? The linebackers didn't necessarily fit his scheme. The DBs were decimated, and the defensive line did squat.
There were games they won with no starting linebackers.
Right,
no starting linebackers. Also, like, what?
But people were like Dennis Allen. It's like, dude, what you want him to do with Spam? I got a fridge full of Spam. Now, I mean, I can make some wonderful Hawaiian dishes, but at some point,
I was just gonna say there's a lot of Hawaiian cuisine.
Yeah, but at some point, you're gonna be like, I'm spammed out. All right, you got some other tender vittles.
Exactly.
Right,
they're like, oh, we know CJ Gardner-Johnson is blitzing.
Right.
We got that one covered up.
Yes. Or we hope. Look, if he's not, we're about to feast. Right. So and adding to that was also, and this is a funny thing about Ben Johnson, the frankness. Him talking about players not being there and not knowing them, and him sticking to it, right? And then it makes you think about Kyler Gordon. How does Kyler Gordon feel? Does Kyler Gordon feel supported, right? Does he? I mean, because in all fairness, I want him to feel supported, but he does have to be there also. You know what I'm saying? And in all fairness, if he doesn't have permission not to be there and you haven't been able to do your job, you probably should do extra. And by doing extra, I'm saying being at these OTAs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think he was injured. That's why he was not on the field, because he's hurt.
Yeah, I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about being on the field. I'm talking about being in the building.
Okay, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? Be around. You know what I'm saying? Like, dog.
Yeah.
Is those checks? And I know those. Was the check still clearing, Alex, or was they being withheld? All right. They were still clearing?
Those checks clear.
This is still cleared? Okay. So if my money is still working, then my money, I just need you to be a support. Listen, sometimes we all got to cheerlead. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I'm not even saying it as a knock. I'm saying it as, hey, whatever you can do to get the team going, bro. I need you to do it because them checks is still clearing.
If you're holding the clipboard, then hold the clipboard like a champion.
Like a winner. All right. But that just thinking about that. And then also, you know what? Sticking with that, let's get to this too. And listen, wonderful player. Can Jalen Johnson bounce back? We didn't see Jalen Johnson last year, and this was due to injury. You know, like there's no questions about Jalen. We have nothing bad to say about Jalen Johnson, but can he bounce back? The shoulder has always been an issue since college. Now, last year was a groin on a DB. All right, a groin. We're talking about a reactionary player. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You don't know which way I'm going, right? You reacting to which way I'm going, right? So I can't protect a tweaked groin because I don't know what route this guy is about to do and what he's about to do.
And by the way, they know you got a tweaked groin and they're going to use that against you.
Great point. So those are the questions that I would have. Most of my questions are defensive. My true concerns, if I'm being honest, are defensive. I do have an offensive question.
All right, we'll save that for the end because I got one more defensive question.
Kick it.
Unsurprisingly, all of my questions are defensive. Because, you know, Sean, if you haven't listened to last episode, Sean Hammond basically gave us the scoop on everything that has happened over the offseason program from rookie minicamp through mandatory minicamp and OTAs in between. And he was singing the high praises of Garrett Bradbury. He said snaps look clean, snaps look good, operation looks good. Obviously, you can't judge the blocking.
Yeah, I want to know when it's a DT on his ass.
You know, last year, it took a while for Drew Dahlman and Caleb Williams to get on the same page. We saw a lot of balls on the ground. He said he did not see a single ball on the dirt. So that's like, okay, that was a question that's kind of answered. That operation looks clean. But defensively, I already invoked this guy's name. Is he going to maybe shade into the box more? How big of an impact can Thieneman really make right away? Because now it looks like, okay, the Bears drafted you with a premium pick, first-round pick. You got to make an impact. And how much of an impact are you going to be able to make on this football team right away when this team needs you? It's not like a luxury pick where it's like, okay, hey, come in. We're expecting you to start, but like, you know, Montez Sweat is going to be able to cover up for you. Jalen Johnson is going to be able to cover up for you. There's a lot of new pieces on this defense. This defense needs to get better from last season. And again, premium pick was used to bring you in. Can you make a premium impact right away that the team needs? That they honestly, the Bears need out of him week one.
I'm doing too much with this thought. I'm doing too much. But could part of the reason, one, because they're studs athletically, but could part of the reason, and you need versatility, let me say this, that you draft a Thieneman and you bring in a Kobe Bryant who has played all over the defensive backfield. Both of these guys can basically shade a nickel. I don't know if you want them on them a whole game, but is that one, of course, for versatility, but it's also because you don't know what you got. And as far as who's, because I mean, one thing when we're worried about Kyler Gordon, you at least got two safeties who are coverage guys, who can be coverage guys. So you now have the box guy, like kind of Brisker was a little bit more, even though Brisker could play some back, play deep a little, but these are coverage guys. And that helps you in a situation where you listen, you may be trying out, the nickel may be a rotating door to find out who is that guy that's going to play that position.
Kenneth, can I be honest? Can I be honest? I don't think you're doing too much with that question. I don't think you're doing too much.
And again, now I'll give Ryan Poles and I'll give the staff props. I mean, one, versatility is good, but if it helps you because one, and another thing too, when I'm talking about that money, and I'm not patting his pockets, but that's a lot of money that's not on the field for nickel. All right, for a nickel. Yeah. All right, it's a lot of that problem. When you put that money down, that was to solve and be like, we got basically like a top 5 nickel here on our team. We don't have to worry about that. This guy can cover and this guy can blitz. You know what I'm saying? This guy can stop. He can come in during the run. We've seen the good plays with Kyler.
Yeah, and when he's on the field, he does do those things. When he's on the field, he's an impact player.
Yeah.
You
know what, though? I'll say this, too. It was a joke. Too much flipping, buddy. I never too much. It's so much on you. It's so much on you. You already are playing that sport, and then you're flipping all the damn time. You know what I'm saying? And at some point, the body.
Lamar Houston. You don't want a Lamar Houston flashback. No, we all got PTSD.
No, come on, man. Please not that. But yeah, that's my thought. Any other defensive questions you got?
Hit me with your offensive question.
My offensive question. I know Colston. I know this offense is going to feature Colston Loveland, right?
Mm-hmm.
But who's going to be that real dependable wide receiver? Is it going to be Luther Burden? Is it going to be Rome? Does Rome really take the step that we've been waiting for?
Yeah.
All right. Does Rome? And also, okay, so who is Rome now? Rome's talked about the foot and having to be different, a new normal. You know what I'm saying, that he mentioned a couple weeks ago, right? Does that make Rome? And I'm not trying to, believe me, I want the best out of Rome. Great young man, in my opinion. Does he become more of a possession guy in some ways? And I don't mean it as a knock. I mean, you need one. You know what I'm saying? Like, someone's got to take up. You know, Rome had the versatility. We saw at Washington here, 2 stretch of field. All right, but he wasn't known as a speedster, even though he's not slow. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But who is Rome? But can Rome fill DJ's role, or I don't want to? Well, will it be usurped by Luther Burden Jr., who, you see them talking about Luther Burden Jr., and if he's going to take that edge that he has and apply it to the field like that, right? Like, hone it. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people can let it get in the way. Right. And if he's going to do that, I mean, look, sometimes you got to let him go if that's who he's going to be. But that's the question. That's for the most part, it's a good question. It'll be a bad question if the offense isn't running as smoothly and it's a situation. It'd be a bad question if Colston is either hurt or the offense running through Colston isn't as efficient as you're hoping for. Because then you're going to be like, I need that other guy, compared to, man, Colston is balling out, and there's just, hey, we got a little food for somebody to get something, and the guys are taking that food, but Colston's getting majority of that. But that's really my biggest question.
Who's going to be the guy who's like, I got to get this guy 8 targets a game?
Yes.
Is Luther Burden a guy who you got to get 8 targets a game, or is it like you get him 5-6 targets and one of them goes for 50 yards? You know? Who's the Amon-Ra St. Brown and who's the Jameson Williams? Because obviously this team is going to be compared to the Lions for eternity because that's where Ben Johnson came from. But like Amon-Ra St. Brown, that dude felt like he got 15 targets a game.
Yeah.
Is Rome Odunze a 15 target a game guy? I think that's a very fair question, Kenneth. Yeah. DJ Moore did not get 15 targets a game. But that was a talking point. But it always felt like he should have gotten 15 targets a game.
But it's touches. Targets is good, but it's touches because, for instance, like when you break up an Amon-Ra St. Brown and you look at like a Luther Burden, for instance, these are guys that can do stuff in the backfield and with sweeps and other such screens and other situations where it may not be necessarily down the field and all that, but no, you need to be involved, right? You need to be more involvement, and that's one thing that they didn't do with DJ that we harped on a lot. Get DJ involved in this offense more often. So hopefully that's what they do moving forward.
I'm with it.
Anything else?
What is that? He had 90. I'm just looking it up because I was curious. Rome Odunze had 90 targets in 12 games last season, 7.5. So apparently he did get 8 targets a game. I take it back. But you're right. I mean, like, okay, so if it was 8, like, can you take 10 a game? And can you be the dude without DJ Moore? It's a great question. Yeah. It's a great question.
All right, you got an extra point?
I do. I got an extra point for you today, Kenneth. Are you ready to continue going around the globe with crazy guitar music from around the world?
Sure. Let's go.
Love it. New guy to me, old guy to the world. He might be my artist of the summer, Kenneth. I might have the sound of the summer this year. Last year, it was all Italo disco. This year, I think it's City Pop out of Japan. I just learned about this man, Masayoshi Takanaka. A buddy recommended his concept album, The Rainbow Goblins. I got way deep into dude's got 1 billion studio albums. He's got 1 billion live albums. What I love about him is all the live tours are all named like Super Takanaka Tour 2026, Super Duper World Tour Takanaka. Everybody gets it. Takanaka Super Good Time. And I'm like, hell yeah, I love that. So what does he sound like? It's like a blend of Herbie Hancock, mid-70s jazz fusion. You know when Herbie Hancock was like, all right, I'm letting it rip with the jazz fusion stuff. That plus like the easy summer good time vibes of like George Benson breezing. Put that together and you've got this wonderful Japanese guitar player. And then what I also love, so I'm looking up videos of this guy because I'm like, who is this dude? This is awesome. I'm all for it. He's got a surfboard guitar, man. It's a surfboard, a full surfboard, and in the middle of it is cut out like, so there's negative space, a guitar neck, and there's a guitar in the middle of a surfboard. So this dude just playing the most funky slash breezy slash summery, just like super, and he's playing it on a goddamn surfboard. Like, it's the coolest thing ever. I'm all about it. I've only listened to 25 out of his 150 studio albums, but Masayoshi Takanaka, he might be the dude who really sticks with me this whole summer as I go on truly a global journey of weird guitar music.
Send me some. Listen, I got one. Today is Juneteenth as we record this, right? And I had to have a discussion with myself. Juneteenth, and I was just talking to Alex about the Arab Spring that happened a decade or so ago, and how when the celebration, the national celebration, Black people have known about Juneteenth, the national celebration came into effect after George Floyd's murder. And it was one of those give them somethings, right? And how I wrangle with it because I could have gotten a lot of other stuff besides this that would be even more beneficial as a person from a slave history as far as when they were brought to this country. But then I realized the privilege in that thought and the fact that I can sit here and say how I feel about something, but my ancestors, that respite, even though ending slavery and slavery has changed into, the prison complex system. If you really don't know, you should know. That's free labor. America's never truly gotten rid of people. Do you think people are going to get rid of free labor? Are you that daft? In all fairness,
these privatized prisons.
That part.
There's something making the private prisons make all the money.
And do they let the private prisons fail? All right. So no, you know what? We're not going to send anybody there. But this is getting back to the subject. I had to realize the privilege in where I am in this part of this journey on this blue marble, that other people in the past that meant so much to them, and I should celebrate them. And that's where I'm at. Thank the people that went through all of the worst experiences, the rape, the mutilation, all the demeaning things that they had to go through just so I can be sitting here talking to him. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'll celebrate, because no one has the permission to give you freedom, because you're not supposed to be someone that put into captivity anyway. So I want to leave on that note, because we always about at least once or twice a month hit you with something hard. So shout out. I want to thank my partner in crime, Alex Shapiro, Kenneth Davis, and we'll be back here next week on the Windy City podcast presented by Fansided.